Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's Belle Collective Season 1 Episode 8 entitled Contracts and Balances. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around. I have all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. Lateshia takes a moment to meet up and speak with Marie because she needs to update her on a few things and also have some balances of transparency. She says, girl, I'm happy to see you. How have you been? And Marie shares that, fortunately, everything is going well concerning her new business endeavor, that they're slowly having the construction just wind down and everything's coming to a close and it's soon to be finished. Lateshia says, I'm really proud of you. I'm happy that you're doing okay, but I gotta talk about a few things. Unfortunately, everything with Ferris Street has been put on pause due to the discussions of events that happened at the brunch. And Marie says, I apologize for my actions, and I'm just really sorry that happened, but what I can tell you is that it won't happen again. And Lateshia also tells her about this intervention that happened, and the main thing of focus was Marie. And people are complaining and saying that, hey, I know Marie is your girl, but look at her behavior. And they even mention things like, watch the company you keep. And we need to be supportive of each other. So I just wanted to let you know what was going on. Marie says that she thinks it's very interesting that people are saying these things about her, but nobody's talked to her directly yet. And even though there's been some things in the past where people did try to speak to her, it just really wasn't the right time. But overall, Marie says that, of course, I'll do better. Once again, I apologize for things that happened at the brunches. I just want to move forward, and I really want everybody to support one another. For Latrice, it is a big day. It is the photo opportunity for Essentials hair care line, but there's a few things that they've had some snags on. Unfortunately, the Claremont twins, she was able to book for it, and it's also going to be a double filming day. It's going to be video and photos taken. But unfortunately, they only have 2 hours to work with the talent. And the few things that they're having to run into is that the photographer is not only late, but he's saying that nobody informed him about this photo opportunity. And nobody told him even the platform of what they're supposed to be shooting, the concept, anything. And also, they've just found out that the venue that they're at now, there's no working water. Glen is returning for another round of work, and Lateshia is getting extra glammed up. So when he walks in, he's not only going to have a nice dinner, but she's going to be all zhuzhed up and pretty. And she's even hired a singer by the name of Air to sing a little special something for their special day and a nice welcome home. She says everything is just going so well. I like that I have the dinner planned out. But we got to think of this key word, something I got to tell you where it's your cue to come out and start singing. So how about we use the key word everlasting? Like if you hear me say everlasting, you're going to come out of the closet and start singing. Is that okay? She's like, yeah. Okay, so I got it. Cool. So Glen finally arrives, and when he shows up, there's dinner. She's saying, welcome home. I'm glad that you're here. They talk, and Glen looks a little confused about what's going on. He sees the dinner, and she's like, let's just go back up to the bedroom. Let's have a minute to talk and just enjoy one another. And I'm just so happy that our love is everlasting. He's like, yeah, I'm happy that our love is everlasting. She's like, no. I mean, it's just great that our love is everlasting. And Air is not hearing her cue. Something's going on. But she gives it one last chance and says, it's wonderful that our love is everlasting. And Air finally comes out of the closet and starts to sing a song. And Glen looks pretty confused. And maybe he was thinking this was an invitation for a threesome because he looks pretty turned on. After she sings her number, he's still thinking maybe this might be a threesome and starts to get closer to Air. And Letitia's like, no, let me walk her out. Let me take her to the door because it's apparent that Glen thought this was something else. Back at the photo shoot, we then have the twins arrived. The water's back on, but it doesn't look clean. And the photographer's still not there. The stylist is telling them, hey, I'm a professional. This water may be so-so, but it's not clean. This tint that's in the water can actually stain their hair, and I'm not going to style anybody's hair with unclean water. So then, Latrice's husband comes up with an idea that let's just use all of this bottled clean water and warm it up in the microwave so it can still be safe for them to style with it. So the photographer is finally there, and Latrice says, you're late, whatever miscommunications that happened, let's just move forward. But what I do know is that the twins only have a 2-hour window that we can do photo shoots and the video. So can you make this happen? The photographer says, I can make it happen in 2 hours. We can get this done. The stylists are able to use the water properly using all of the Essentials hair care products. Everything's going well. The twins are able to get their hair done. Everything is going great. Latrice's husband even says that, these models that you got, maybe I'm just old school, but they just look too fake. If it were up to me, I would have, selected maybe some women that looked a little bit more natural. But Latrice does not have time to talk about the ins and outs of it. The important thing is that they start the photo shoot. And the photo shoot is starting to go very well. The ladies look nice. Their hair looks nice. They look on, Melanie, Latrice's husband, and Latrice, they look on and say, I'm just so happy that this is going well. And the photographer even gets the owners and everybody to take the last photo. And Latrice is able to announce and happy to announce, yay, it's a wrap. So the photo shoot went well. Tambra takes a moment to meet up with her good friend Gary with the T via FaceTime to just talk about her endeavors, because as we learned in previous episodes, Tambra is really good at radio, but she wants to expand her career and merge her onto television. Gary sees this acting reel or real footage that she's prepared, and he doesn't look too happy. And he explains that, well, this is just an interview and I'm trying to see what's going on and I don't understand what's going on. I mean, what's the topic? What are you doing? And also your tone needs to be changed a little bit. And Tambra's confused and she's basically saying, so I need to just change who I am, basically. He's like, no, it's just a lot of things that need to be changed, and I would just suggest you do the whole thing over again and make something that's a little bit more serious and something that's a little bit more personal. Tambra, she's really disappointed, but she's getting an idea of this television thing and maybe some changes that she needs to make. Lateshia and Glen, they go to see a balance coach, and the balance coach is there for career, finances, etc. And Lateshia says, well, normally I would be able to just shut down when he comes back from work, but with all of these new endeavors and I'm evolving into an entrepreneur, I can't do that anymore. I can't just completely shut down and do what he wants. Things have changed, so we need some help with learning how to balance everything. And the coach explains that they're going to do an activity called dance, where you are Glen and Glen is you. You guys are going to behave like the other person so the other person can get an idea of one's behavior. When they start to do the exercise, Glen says that he realizes that as soon as he comes into the door, he's demanding, and I don't find out ways that I can help, but instead I'm coming in and I'm making all of these demands, kind of like just really wanting to see things that are wrong instead of the things that are right. And also I need to be more involved in helping her. And Lateshia says, yeah, from the activity, I noticed that I'm kind of into my phone a lot, and maybe he's thinking I'm not paying attention to him. So that's something that I can work on. I need to be more engaging as well. When the communication is going great and they've had a wonderful activity, Glen pulls out the contract and says, yeah, that's why I brought this. Lateshia is very shocked and surprised that he brought that to this event, and she starts to read it and says, okay, 50% of Lateshia's earning is of all of her business endeavors will go to me. And she says, well, I can't believe that. You want 50% of all of my business endeavors? Okay, well, with that, I've created a contract as well. She says, honey, I am 10 steps ahead. You have a contract. I have a contract too. And she begins to read her own information. She says, you can call it a prenup. You can call it whatever you want to, and you can interpret it how you want, but I have things as as well. You can have 51% of all of my platforms of business, but there are things that you have to do as well. You need to be involved in renewing our vows, propose to me again within the next month, and also stay with me for the rest of my life because you have made a commitment to be my husband. And the coach says, well, how do you feel about that? That you guys are having these contracts? And she explains that I made a contract because he made a contract. And in a production clip, Glen says that he's surprised that she threw one back at him. Her contract was shortened to the point, but his contract was several pages. And the coach said, I recommend that you guys go on a couple's dinner just to review and observe other couples' behaviors. And maybe that would give you an idea of how you guys treat each other. Marie and Essie meet up and they take a moment to get dinner, to talk and celebrate how far they've come in their business. And they have another facility that's about to open and the ribbon cutting ceremony will be there soon. And they're just taking a moment to say, wow, we should be very proud of ourselves because we really, really work hard. When talking about that, Marie wants to take a moment to vent about her marriage, but Essie says, he's a parasite and he just drains you all the time. There's always moments of sadness. He's not supportive. I mean, the marriage and everything that's going on, it just isn't healthy. And Marie says, I know it's just really embarrassing that I invested time and energy into this marriage thinking that it would be better. And also with the cherry on the top, he's away in Aruba for 2 weeks without Marie. And she says she's upset that she's put up with it for so long, but she would pray and hope that things would get better. But it's just the same habits over and over again. After a radio taping, the program director comes into Tambra's office with really, really serious face and energy saying that, hey, I really need to talk to you. Can you join me in the other room? Little to know that the program director has set up a nice surprise because now she is the #1 midday queen. They have reached the #1 status. And Tambra is very shocked and happy. Her team is cheering her on, saying congratulations. But Tambra stresses that it's a team and none of this could be done without their help. Even Tanisha makes a surprise appearance to say congrats to the midday queen. And she updates Tambra on everything that's been going on concerning seeing a balance coach and that the coach suggested that they have a couple's dinner. And she wants to invite Tambra and her new boo. But Tambra says, me and my ex, we were together for a long time and then we weren't together and now they're just rekindling to see if there's something there in a relationship. And I don't want to make him feel uncomfortable and scare him away by inviting him to a quote unquote couples dinner. And she's like, oh yeah, I understand that. Okay, I just wanted to, extend the invite. And Tambra says, speaking of updates, I told you before that, I froze my eggs and everything. And maybe I need to have those discussions with him because, who better to have a baby with than your best friend? But on top of that, I've learned from my doctor that I also have fibroids. And in order to even think about a child and to make sure that process goes smoothly and as healthy as possible, I need to have surgery again to remove those fibroids. And she tells her that, girl, I'm here for you. It's okay. Even if you want me to come to some of those doctor's visits, let me know. And she says in a production clip that Tambra, she has a smile on her face all the time and she helps other people. But I'm going to let her know that it's okay for things not to be great all the time. And you don't have to smile all the time to cover up how you truly feel, that you can come to me and talk because we're all in this together and all we need to do is support one another. Essie comes over to Marie's house and Marie has had it. She wants to let her know that, girl, he was supposed to come back 2 days ago from this trip he had and he hasn't even showed up. Like, I really wanted to assure that he would be here because I really want him to be present during the ribbon cutting ceremony. And the fact that he's just not here, he's not communicating, it's just too much. I'm tired of dealing with it. And Essie just lets her know that he's not there for you. He's not being a good husband and it's time to to let this behavior stop. It's time to let it go. And she was like, well, what are you doing with all these boxes? And Marie assures that she needs to just pack up all of his stuff and drop it over to his place, because if all of his things are at her house, he has an excuse to keep coming over there. So they start to pack up all his clothes and everything, and they drop it off at his house. And Essie says that, I understand that you're doing this and you're dropping off the clothes and you're saying it's over, but are you for real this time? Because we've been down this road. You'll complain about it, you'll pack the stuff, you'll say it's over, and then you guys are back together. So are you for real this time? And Marie says, yes, it's over. I can't take it anymore. I'm done. It's the night of the couple's dinner and everybody's looking super fabulous. The occasion is Black Love. And Tanisha and Glen, they are the hosts. They welcome Melanie and LaMarcus, Latrice, and Zaddy. And of course, Tanisha and Glen, they try to set the mood. The vibes are great. Everybody is finally seeing one another. And Lateshia says, I always hear about Glen, your amazing husband, and now I get to finally see him. And even the guys joke about, finally they're getting to meet other men and learn about each other because they are around the ladies all the time. The life coach, she explains to everybody, Lateshia, after everybody arrives and sits down, is that I wanted to inform y'all that, my husband and I were going through a little something right now. And one of the things that I told a life coach is that my life is changing and I can't just be hand and foot to my husband all the time. So it's this change of him understanding that I'm an entrepreneur and have all these other endeavors, and that he's going to have to learn to move and shake with me. As she's explaining that and everybody's nodding their head and they're engaging in conversation, we have Miss Marie that's shown up with a gentleman. And we hear Tisha under her breath, who is this man? Wait, hold up. Who is this? Where is Cedric? And everybody's sipping their glasses who is this person? Wait, that's not her husband. What's really going on? And Latrice is saying in a production clip, well, I know that's not her husband. I mean, is she married? Was she ever married? What is really going on? So everybody wants to know, what is the tea? Who's the tea? What's this guy that you with? We learned that the gentleman is there. Marie says in her production clip that I have moved on and I'm bringing somebody else to this dinner. It is time to move on. And that is the end of the episode. Ooh, okay. Ooh, what y'all think about Glen popping up with a contract? Why? Is my girl Tisha gonna have to have a prenup? A pre-prenup now? Because he's you got all these business endeavors going on. Now I want 50%. Really? Girl Tisha, I don't think your revamp could have been, you can have 51% if you renew the vows and propose to me again. And no, honey. It's time for a for real prenup if he's acting like that. Before you really get everything super popping and the show and everything. Ooh, this marriage just looks more like Rocky Road. The roads of rocks are really just not feeling it. Do you think a lot of the relationships that are on this show that stand together out of obligation, they're afraid to move on? I think that's what we're seeing. We see the same thing with Tambra and her ex, who I think she needs to drop as soon as possible. I vented about it in my last review, how I'm just girl, you was with this man for 16 years and he didn't propose to you or want to take it to the next level. What makes you think he trying to be for real now? And he blames it on her trying to make a career. What? Come on now. This ought to be a wake-up call that the roles are changing so far as when it comes to what we think and what we assume things should be in Western society. I just don't think it's just Marie. Every woman is kind of seeing the relationship the same. Marie and her so-called husband, they've known for years. They have a child together. She did say that she prayed and she hoped things would get better. They would go to counseling. He would say things would get better. And then he turned around and did the same thing. But 12 years? Oh my goodness. That's a very long time. Latrice with her ex, 16 years. And then also Tisha with Glen, and she's saying that there's been infidelity in the past. And now that she getting stuff popping, he acting some type of way. Not acting some type of way. What's up with the men in our lives? It just looks kind of to me. Come on now, put your foot down on a lot of stuff. Men do it all the time. Men be throwing prenups like they rice. Come on now, y'all need to get prenups with the real for real. If they're not there because of the money, then maybe the contract prenup wouldn't be so bad. Yeah, I don't know. This episode also just had me feeling some type of way because it's like all of these successful things going on. Maria's getting ready for her ribbon cutting ceremony. Tambra is so excited about being number one, the new midday queen, and having great reviews about her radio station. But at the same time, they're dealing with day-to-day realistic stuff, right? She's thinking about family. Tambra's thinking about family and the possibility of kids, which is fine. The balance act of it all. But are the men really being as supportive as they say they are? Latrice and her hubby, I talked about that in 2 reviews ago, how she's becoming successful. Now he wants percentage parts of her endeavor because he's made an investment in the company, but he didn't believe in it at first. It's just this big wake-up call to see how men are feeling some type of way in this series about them not being the main ones that are financially bringing the most to the table, and they're feeling some type of way, and it's all due to Western society and how those things evolved into women kind of taking the back seat to their business goals and their dreams and aspirations because they had to put a lot on pause because of having children. There's statistical articles all over the place, okay? And I talked about this throughout this entire season, that more women are taking demand and control of their own dreams, their own aspirations, and they're either not having children at all, or they're freezing their eggs and having children later, or that they have other options so far as maybe adopting and not having children at all. It's just things are evolving that way. And as a society, we have to look at, is the male ego changing as well, because they feel if they're not being as supportive and maybe kind of putting pause on some of their endeavors, that they're less of a man, which is not the case. That's just called being supportive. It's something women have done for a very long time, and men shouldn't feel some type of way if they love someone and they're helping them with their dreams and aspirations. I just feel some type of way about Tambra's ex-boo, and now he trying to get back with her. Like, I'm just not feeling that dude, because you saw her throughout the years hustling and doing her thing. And were you developing your career as well? So why are you wearing your feathers ruffled? Now she's being successful. Child, I just don't understand. They had me feeling some type of way watching this, child. I'm like, I mean, this is amazing women, and they putting up with these dudes. What's going on? And Essie, what I found interesting in one of the production clips is that Essie feels that they are soulmates, that her and Marie are soulmates, that they came in each other's lives in a time of need. And I already have an idea that people are going to be like, oh, Essie wants Marie for herself. I don't think she meant it that way with that type of relationship. I honestly feel that she meant that this is my friend. We have that business connection and friendship connection, and we have supported each other in times when others wouldn't support us. That's what I think she meant, and I hope people don't take that the wrong way and like, oh, her husband was right in saying that they're the ones in relationship. Like, I don't think that's the case, because Marie and Essie have been together when it started from zero, and now they've built this amazing empire. But I do agree with Essie that dude got to go. His behavior is just too mysterious, and I believe that he's living a quadruple life, not a double life, but a quadruple. I think that he possibly has other relationships, other kids, and maybe other statuses going on. When it comes to relationships, girlfriends, side relationships, whether that be with a man, whether that be with a female, I think that he has several things going on, because you're going on trips, you leaving, you don't come home for days at a time, and then he has no guilt about it. Like, he just pops up, at certain events when she's with the grandkids, comes off very cocky, and you have the nerve to behave that way. Let me know what you thought, because y'all, they had me wanting to throw a shoe at the screen, because I'm like, are they really putting up with this? I'm just confused. I don't know if that's just how I was raised, to just not put up with anything. Like, you do have patience, and you do hope that things get better and that things change, and nobody's perfect. I understand that, but for that long, I don't know, child. That's just a lot. Let me know what you think. Make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and also follow me on Instagram. Please make sure that you click that notification bell because I want to make sure you don't miss the recaps and the review. The next episode is the season finale, and then following that on March 19th is the 2-part reunion special. So you don't want to miss that. Stay tuned for my Coming to America 2 review and recap. We have the U.S. versus Billie Holiday. I'm going to give my honest opinions about this, okay? If you've seen my movie reviews, I do not hold back no matter what it is. We have Tuesday, Queen Sugar again, and the premiere of Delilah. So make sure that you check that out. All right, you guys? Love you so much. Support and love one another. Take care of yourself. Until next time I see ya. Bye.